Hi guys, I'm gonna do a review for the new game that came out yesterday um, called World War Z for the iPhone. World War Z is based on the movie that's coming out, the Brad Pitt movie, World War Zombie. World War Z is called. So what's the game about? The game is about a zombie outbreak happening in the US, happening all over the world, and then you are trapped in the chaos. And you have to go to Japan to save your son, and that's the basically how the plot of the game. And let's just jump right into what's good about it. Um, I have to be honest with you. This is one of the most beautiful game that's ever made on the iPhone. To me, it's better than the what do you call that, the Infinity Blade. It's made with the same they call it the same engine, the Unreal Engine, but it is one of the most beautiful game. And you start in the US city, and the graphic there is just mind blowing, beautiful, and the lighting is so photorealistic. Um, right away, I give it on the for the graphic side on the US cities. It's just 8 out of 10. Or let me just reiterate that 9 out of 10. It's beautiful. However, once you made it to Tokyo, and I played once you made it to the Japan levels, and that's where the graphics just went down, just goes down the drain, because it's just disappointing to see you start off in the US city. It's beautifully designed, beautifully lighted, but once you are in the Japan level, it's just ugly to look at, and it sucks. It sucks seriously. So the strength is the good graphic, but it became a disappointing affair in the Japan levels. What the other strength of the game is the control options. This game have, I think, one of the most extensive control options. You can play Infinity Blade, or you can touch to anywhere on the screen and you move there, or you can play with a virtual joystick. You can All of that is covered in the options, which I think is good, because the game allows the player to, whatever choice that you want to play with, point point style, Infinity Blade style, or you can actually move and explore the environment. I like to explore the environment because, as I said, the US levels are so beautifully designed. It's just worth the time to just to explore. So that's the second strength of the World War Z game for the iPhone. Um, before I go to the weaknesses of the game, and I just have to say that all current games now have in-app purchases, which is you have to pay extra to buy some money inside the game. So far, the game this game is no different, but so far I have not bought any coins or in-app purchases, because I don't think you need it. Just play diligently. You can make it. I made it as far as Japan without any having to buy anything from the game maker. So ignore it. You can ignore it. Hopefully, I have not finished the game. I'm stuck in the Japanese level, which is a lot of the bugs and a lot of the weaknesses of the game finally showed up. Okay, let's just go straight to the bad, to the really disappointing part of the game. Um, let me just go straight off. There are two types of action in this game. I mean, besides moving, there are two types of fighting allowed in the game. One is range combat, where you have a gun and you shoot at the enemy, and you can do it auto fire, or you can fire with a button. You have that option, and then you have the hand-to-hand combat option. Now, of the two, the worst is the hand-to-hand combat, because they try to do like Infinity Blade, where you swipe at the screen. I have to say that that is the biggest disappointment of this game, because it's not precise. It's not precise like Infinity Blade, and you will. I think you died. I died many times in the hand-to-hand combat, because you just swipe on the screen and you will still get beaten by the zombies. You can't avoid it. I've tried it. There's no strategy. I think you just hit, and then sometimes when you swipe, it hits on the zombie. Sometimes it doesn't, and the zombie bites you. But you don't. It's like you're gambling with it. There's no sure way to know, and whether you hit a zombie or not. I mean, you hit, and then it comes and bite you. It's really imprecise. You know, so that one huge weakness is the melee combat, the hand-to-hand fighting, which happens a lot in the Japan level. In the US level, you don't have that a lot. Don't have a lot of melee combat, but in the Japan level, it's just an insane hand-to-hand combat thing. And because they are so I have discovered many hand-to-hand combat segment that the weaknesses really just comes out, and it's just so bad. It's just you cannot avoid it. This option of hand-to-hand combat or range weapon combat is not up to you. It's not up to the player. The game will tell you, will give you a signal that okay, it's time for range weapon, and or it's time for hand-to-hand combat, which is a ridiculous idea, because you have a handgun, right? Why can't you fight a zombie with a handgun? Seriously, I mean, is that really is I think one of the biggest weakness, because why make it separate? A lot of game have hand-to-hand combat. I mean, I think even I don't know Doom. You can punch the monster, I think, in Doom, but you give the option to the player. You can actually shoot if you want to. You can have to have hand-to-hand combat if you want to. So this game does not allow that. So that's, to me, sucks, because I'm fine if the hand-to-hand combat section is well done or accurate. It's not at all, and you will die many times during the hand-to-hand combat. Trust me. And another thing, yeah. Now, first of all, is the bad control. The bad fighting control, especially the hand-to-hand combat, really brings the game down. And another thing is, once you die, which you will die a lot, you will start at the beginning of that level. It is so downer for me, because you have accomplished a lot. Like the level is quite kind of like huge. You have to turn this button, that button, and then if you die in hand-to-hand combat in a random fight, sometimes you don't know when the fight is gonna come, and if you die, you don't like get to refight the battle hand-to-hand combat at that moment. You have to restart the level, which, oh god, which sucks, which made me stop playing. I stopped playing the game once I replaying a level 4 times. I stopped playing it because the level is big, and you have that kind of mechanics doesn't work, and that brings the game down for me. I mean, a disappointing part of the game. Hand-to-hand combat sucks. Graphic in Japan sucks. And lastly, I mean, the design of the zombies. I have to pick up, because sometimes you fight the same zombies again and again and again. I mean, I don't blame the designers, because how it's quite a hard thing to do, because you need to fight a lot of different zombie designs. But honestly, it gets tiring, because you are fighting the same old man, same boy zombie, same girl zombie, same, and it sucks. Um, right now I'm stuck. I'm stuck of the game not because of a puzzle. The puzzles are not that hard, but I'm stuck at this level where you will fight a lot of melee hand-to-hand combat, and unless you have a lot of health, you will die. Oh, by the way, health you can pick up, but they are very rare, and it's the only time if you want to buy more health that you have to actually buy the in-app purchases, which sucks. Again, in-app purchases. I mean, I don't know. I don't. Did they mistake? Did they on purpose made the hand-to-hand combat so difficult that you will die if you don't use your health? And if you use your health, there's no way of getting more health until you buy the in-app purchases. And if you die in combat, you start at the beginning of the level, and then your health, everything that you used in the previous incarnation before you die, is gone also. So you have to buy new health, and that is in-app purchases, which to me shouldn't be the way. It sucks. It sucks really bad. Um, and my verdict of the game is some summary of the game is just a disappointment. I mean, I wanted to like it so much. I mean, the US level again, as I said, is so beautifully done. It's so atmospheric, and then it just in a flip of a finger, the moment you go to Japan, where you have a lot of hand-to-hand combat, you can actually start seeing the weaknesses of the game. The level design drops really bad in the Japan levels, and the gameplay, and then because of the imprecise control of the hand-to-hand combat. No matter what type of control you choose, the hand-to-hand combat is a swipe gesture type control like an Infinity Blade. It's so imprecise that you will die. You will lose a lot of health during those levels. So it's a big disappointment to me. I hope they come up with. There are a lot of bugs also, because there are certain things you can't do unless you do point A first, and there's no indication at all that you have to do point A. Then the game, the way the game try to stop you from doing before A, is they put a lot of zombie there, so they don't tell you, okay, do A first and before you do B. No, they just put a lot of zombies at point B, and believe it or not, it's a melee combat situation thing where they put that mechanism, and then you will die. I had died a lot of time before I figured out, let's just do A first, and when I do A first, oh, and then go to do B, there's no zombie. But the game doesn't have, like, there's no indication of, like, what you have to do. They just put you in the open sandbox, but it's just too vague. I mean, I thought this game would like beat Dead Space on the iPhone from EA, but Dead Space has much better navigation, man, and much better control. I mean, even though the graphic on that is outdated, I wish Dead Space have the graphic capabilities of this game of World War Zombie, because oh man, the graphic engine is so beautiful to look at, especially in the US level. I keep repeating it because it is that beautiful to look at until you get to the Japan levels again. So to me, the whole game is just a bit disappointing. I hope they do put up the patches and fix the bug or anything. Yeah, it's a disappointment, but it's only $5. So even though it's expensive, and then my advice, if you do buy it, don't buy the in-app purchases because you will regret it, because it's still buggy, and the in-app purchases is evil to me. That's it. That's my short review of World War Z. A disappointment. The and grade that I give this is like 3 out of 10, below par. Thank you for watching, guys.